Burning the book. This is the second of 6 stories from the book of Jeremiah. In the story, it refers to the king burning the book. Ever wanted to hear what was in that book? Well, actually, read the book of Jeremiah. That is the book that was burned. Only the first section, of course. And Jeremiah added to it as time went by. Now, Babylon, after this story, is going to invade Jerusalem 3 times. And this takes over 20 years. 3 different times they will invade over a 20-year span. Like I pointed out before, that's the same as Assyria going into Israel. They invaded 3 times. It was the same thing. Now, I thought I would go over the sons of Josiah. He had 3 sons became kings and 1 grandson. Jehoahaz was the first one. I talked about him last week. He only reigned for 3 months. Chronicles says that he was a wicked king, and according to their standards, he was in the ways that they were judging him. But he was probably the best of all of them. He was the only one that could actually have turned out to be a good king. But God took him out of the picture. Jehoiakim is the one in this story here. And he was the one that was there when Babylon first invaded. Then he is taken to Babylon and killed there. And his son, Jehoiachin, becomes king. Now, he's the only one that survived. He is taken back to Babylon, put in prison, but then as you'll see in the 6th story, he's actually brought out of prison and treated quite well. He's the only one that survived and lived to be an old man. Then you have Zedekiah. Zedekiah goes back now. Once the grandson is taken away, it goes to his uncle, which is another son of Josiah. And he's the one that is there during the final captivity, and he suffers a cruel death. And there's 2 whole stories that has him as king. So anyway, just kind of go over those a little bit with you and let you know that we're talking about basically the sons of Josiah here and the 1 grandson, and it's the grandson that actually survives through the whole thing. These 6 stories, I thought I would review them with you. Now, the last story we did was the broken pot, and that laid the foundation of what God was doing here. The whole thing about the potter, the clay, it lays that foundation. Then this story here, burning the book, this is, you might say, the calm before the storm. Is when they have a indifference to what God is saying and a false security, the calm before the storm. The next story, which is the 2 baskets of figs, is the first and the second invasion of Babylon, where they come in, they take over, and both times the people rebel from that. So then the 4th story is the 3rd invasion. Jerusalem under siege, and you now have then this is a longer time period here because you have 2 different stories. That 4th story is Zedekiah and all that's going on in that final invasion. Story number 5 is the well of mud, and that is the final fall. That's when everything crashes down. Jeremiah goes through his worst time right before the end. And finally, the 6th story, going to Egypt, is after the fall. I hope that helps to get this over you. Just quickly, laying the foundations with the 1st story. The calm before the storm was the 2nd story. The 3rd story was the 1st and 2nd invasion. And then you have the 3rd invasion with the fourth story. And then finally, the fifth story is the final fall. The sixth story is after it's all over. I do hope you will enjoy these 6 stories. Come back next week when we continue on with more insights on the story of the week. We'll see you next week.